Welcome to literary and jury charge practice. Let's start out with this narrative answer. Get our fingers moving. Ready? Here we go. The patient states that he is not yet able to do work at all. He can't even do lighter work. In regard to the pain in the upper dorsal area, the patient states that this area is painful and that he has to sleep flat on his back. He states that this part of his back bothers him even on lifting lighter things such as a bag of groceries. He claims that the pain in the lower spine particularly bothers him when he is on his feet a lot. The patient states that he is not on a strict diet for his ulcer. His doctor advised him to eat whatever he found that he was able to eat that would not cause him distress. He states, however, that he is not able to eat solid food because of the malocclusion of the right side of his jaw. The patient wears no type of back support. He still takes pills for pain, but only on occasion. He took Darvon for some time and has been taking Bufferin when necessary. He is taking a tranquilizer at night. His doctor advised him that it would be a good idea to continue doing this because it would keep his ulcer from acting up again. And let's try one more shorter than that one. Narrative answer. Ready? Here we go. The material is extremely resistant to chemical attack and low in trace metal contamination. It is compatible with all organic solvents that are used in the cleaning and processing of electronic circuits and systems. The basic member of this unique thermoplastic polymer family has superior dielectric strength and high surface and volume resistance. The electric properties do not vary remarkably with changes in heat exposure because it can be used with a very thin coating. Heat that is generated by the coated components is easier to control, and the differences in thermal expansion are less of a problem than those of conventional coatings. Let's see what we had as far as challenging words. I know a lot of it was challenging. Let's see, we had thermoplastic polymer, dielectric was dielectric strength. Thermal expansion. So some words to add to our list of challenging words. All right, hopefully you're feeling warmed up now. Let's try some jury charge. Ready? Here we go. Cancer is the name commonly used for what your doctor would call a malignant tumor. In everyday English, that means harmful growth. A cancer is a harmful growth of tissue somewhere in the human system. If it is allowed to keep on growing, it will eventually choke off one or another of the body's necessary functions. It will kill the person who has the cancer. How does cancer start? If you were to look at sections of the body through a microscope, you would see that all of them are made up of tiny units called cells. Each organ is constructed of different types of these units arranged in different ways, yet all of these cells have certain basic similarities. The most fundamental is that they can reproduce themselves. This they do simply by dividing. One cell becomes two, the two become four, and so on. As your body grows and is put to different uses, its parts change in size and shape. A muscle used vigorously for some time develops in size. A muscle that is not used becomes smaller. In all parts of the body, the cells continually divide and form new ones to supply the material for new growth or to replace worn out or injured cells. When you cut your finger, for instance, the cells divide rapidly until the flesh is mended and the skin repaired. Then they go back to their normal rate of dividing. In some persons, though, this usual life process gets out of control. The mysterious mechanism that regulates the division of the cells breaks down. Wild growing cells are formed that do not build normal flesh or bone tissue. They serve no useful purpose in the body at all. They divide more rapidly than normal cells, and in a haphazard way, they pile up into a useless mass or tumor. Continue on with something we started previously, which is the text from the recent speed contest. The speed contest was at 280 words per minute. We will not read it that fast, but we can get an idea of what the material was like. Ready? Here we go. The slogan is to have a healthy disregard for the impossible. That program encouraged me to pursue a crazy idea at the time. I wanted to build a personal rapid transit system on campus to replace the buses. It was a futuristic way of solving our transportation problem. I still think a lot about transportation. Our dreams are never lost because they just incubate as a hobby. Many things that people labor hard to do now, such as cooking, cleaning, and driving, will require much less human time in the future. It could happen if we have a healthy disregard for the impossible and actually build these solutions. I think it is often easier to make progress on ambitious dreams. I know that sounds completely nuts. Since no one else is crazy enough to do it, you have little competition. In fact, there are so few people this crazy that I feel like I know them all by first name. They all travel as if they are pack dogs and stick to each other like glue. The best people want to work the big challenges. That is what happened with Google. Our mission is to organize the world's information and make it universally accessible and useful. How can that not get you excited? But we almost didn't start Google because my co-founder and I were too worried about dropping out of our PhDs. All right, let's try another literary. This is called Exactly Why Am I Doing This Now? Here we go. The appointment began with a simple question. My question to the court reporter was simply, "How are you?" There was a loud sigh. The answer began, "I am so tired of..." I watched the clock. How long? Almost 5 minutes. I did not peep one word as I listened. After a noticeable silence, the court reporter asked me what I was thinking. Softly I said, "Wow, that was almost a 5-minute literary test. Now, please tell me what you really think." She howled with laughter. Court reporters and court reporting students, when someone asks us what we think and the question is posed by someone, my opinion here, related to our field, we can really let the words fly. This individual and I have worked together in the past. She emailed with a question. Again, I found it interesting that the tenacity and goals that were set by this person while enrolled in court reporting school, who would never make it out of school fast enough, were now similar to today's scheduled session. I'm not going to spend another dime to improve my skills when I have paid so much to get where I am. I remain silent. I know people can do what I am trying to do now. If they can do it, why can't I? I want no need to earn more money. I didn't go to court reporting school to be at the bottom of a seniority list after this period of time, did I? I remained silent. The sentence I truly enjoyed professionally and personally here. I'll just get there and take it from there when I do get there, okay? I listened to this gainfully employed court reporter. She said, "The support on my software is about to expire. I have to pay for that too, and the support on my new writer is about to expire. More money there. All that adds up to a lot of money, and it's due very, very soon." The reporter summed it up. "I Just am wondering exactly what I am doing, why I am doing this now. And there we had it. The dancing polar bear in the room was bowing and exiting. Now that the energy had been expelled in a healthy manner, and we were clear that we would focus together, we began to share an open dialogue for the goals. We agreed to assess goals that had been met as a student and to evaluate where she is now as a certified court reporter. The reporter then said, I have permission to share. When I was going to school then, I was not putting in as much as I should have. Then working with you, I decided I could do this. I decided to not do this and to not do that, but to do this and to not make excuses. That was how I came a long way. I focused as you advised. We spent our time working together constructively, realistically focusing. Instead of focusing on the loud voice in her head, we focused on the tasks that would realistically work with her present schedule and her goals today. Her question, exactly why am I doing this now, remained with me after we scheduled updates and ended our time together. This very question itself, in my opinion, will give you freedom. Ask yourself this question and identify what is important, and not when events are fodder for a comedy skit for Saturday Night Live. I believe this is an excellent question. Why take risks when we ask the question, why? Together, the reporter and I focused on the nutrition for her goals. Thus, the reporter and I made a conscious choice to create strength with training while working. All right, back to some jury charge. And again, the subject of this one is cancer. Ready? Sometimes these tumors remain in the part of the body in which they have started, often growing quite large and pressing on neighboring parts, usually doing no particular harm. Frequently, they are enclosed in a protective sheath or envelope of tissue. These are known as benign tumors, but sometimes tumors develop which do not stay in one place harmlessly. They destroy the part of the body in which they start, and they spread to other parts of the body, starting new growth and wreaking new destruction. These are the malignant tumors or cancers. In the beginning, either kind of tumor usually can be removed from the body by surgery, or when amenable to such treatment, can be destroyed by X-rays or radiation therapy. But the malignant tumor, even if starting in a non-vital part of the body, if untreated, will kill the person who has it. The important thing to remember is that most malignant tumors begin in the same way as benign tumors, as a local growth. In this stage, they can often be removed or destroyed. In short, if cancer is detected in time, it can usually be cured. Despite the intensive research that scientists are carrying on today, we still do not know what causes cancer or much about why certain people get it while others escape. Many years of study and investigation have served to sweep aside misconceptions about the disease, but the final discoveries about the origins of the disease itself are still to be made. Cancer has been known since earliest historical times. The ancients thought one human being could give it to another. As recently as Pasteur's time and even later, it was confidently expected that a germ would be discovered to be the root cause of malignant tumors. The possibility that viruses may cause cancer is being thoroughly studied, but as yet there is no evidence that malignant tumors in human beings are caused by a germ or virus. Cancer is not considered to be contagious or infectious. To our article on, or titled, Exactly Why Am I Doing This Now? Ready? Here we go. What I heard the court reporter say and what was identified later by her words were her fears. I heard I am afraid of, and her true fears were then softly shared. Yes, I could hear fear in her voice as well as the frustration. I could hear fear as very real facts were shared as this working reporter. I had heard the fear identified by this individual while she was enrolled in school as a student. Together we addressed the fears then. Together we walked straight into her fears now. Fear can be a motivator if we are moving away from fears or toward goals. I believe that we are imprinted with past moments. My opinion is that any professional training requiring excellent daily standards as we learn a new language and begin to build technical skills will create survival skills that no reality TV show would ever understand. Instead of "you're fired," our TV show could be called "you passed," you're hired. We are not cast on an island to fend for ourselves alone, though it may sure feel close to that. Having attended court reporting school myself, when it seemed like every day was "you didn't pass this one," as the papers were handed back to students. To me, these were moments that could weaken individuals outside of our field. I still refer to my court reporting schooling as walking barefoot on broken glass. Exactly why are you doing this now? Is it your passion? Is it your desire to help others in court, deposition, captioning, TV, and or providing CART? This is just a sampling where we know our skills are now valued and appreciated. Do you have a vision where you want to go? Are you there now? Do you have support for your choices now? Have you met individuals who are fun and are proof to the fact that students and working reporters do tweak their skills, do advance goals, and do not let daily fears guide them? Are you worried about others who may judge you on your choices? I have asked this question and listened to very private opinions. I have also heard individuals say, "Nah, I just want to stay employed and pay my bills." Perhaps asking the "exactly why am I doing this now" question is the healthiest step forward. My opinion is that by going within to ask the questions that are creating the fears is a good, healthy step. Court reporters do not let the tail wag the dog. Seeking success, we define exactly why we are doing this now. All right, this is called How to Help a Student. And this is in one of the Journal of Court Reporting magazines from NCRA. Ready? Here we go. No one knows what it's like to go through a court reporting program. Court reporting is like a walk on the wild side that, unless you are familiar with it, no one will ever understand. If you're lucky, you will have many people cheering from the sidelines. Go to 25. Sometimes it will feel like you have definitely chosen the road less traveled, and it may feel lonely now and then. But have no fear. Court reporting is a road that can lead you places that you have never imagined. A national convention during an election year, the General Petraeus scandal, and sometimes events that devastate our nation. You could play a role in these moments in history. Your peers are traveling to the same destination as you, but how you all get there could be very different. You may be returning to school after working several years in another profession. You may have been a stay-at-home parent returning to the workforce, or you may have just graduated high school. No matter the route you started on, 225 is your final destination. You have your goal, and it's important to be aware of the potential detours and pitfalls around you. Make sure you have a strong support system. Keep your eye on the goal and be frank with those who love you and how they can support you in this journey. Next time you're asked, how can I help? Here are some suggestions. Machine time is a priority, so help keep me honest. Make an appointment with yourself to practice and stick to it. Ask those who care about you to help you keep that appointment and keep distractions from entering your practice space. There are no shortcuts to this profession. You must practice several hours a day, every day, to pass a 5-minute test. I need your flexibility and understanding. Flexibility is important not just for a graduate, but also those around them. It's not always convenient to practice. Take equipment on vacation with you and stay up when everyone else is in bed to get practice time in. It's also true that you will have last-minute transcript orders of expert testimony the second your scopist has left on her vacation. You have a wedding rehearsal and dinner plans, and you are looking forward to a weekend of no work. Who helps get you through those times? Having a support team in place with people who are flexible, do not roll their eyes or give you a hard time, and know how to roll with the punches is important. Yes, you will have to drive separate sometimes, arrive late and leave early. True story, this happened to my aunt when she had less than a year under her belt reporting. If you're as lucky as her and let expectations be known in advance, not only will you have support, but maybe, like my uncle did, you'll have someone staying up late with you, looking up words in an old-fashioned dictionary. Remember those? Binding transcripts and so on. Everyone reaps the benefit of this fabulous career. All right. And that will conclude our literary and jury charge practice.